Let's go. DJ Self, Rel Renee, my man, DJ Essa, we out here. The Heineken is here. Self, who is the top 5 hottest artists in the city right now?
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
What you want to talk about?
I don't want to use that top 5 language because there's somebody else up here that uses the top 5 language on their thing.
Oh.
So let's just ask Self.
Oh, shit.
Who's the hottest in the city right now?
In New York City.
Yeah, yes. because I'm gonna just split out because Nala Simone uses her top 5 thing.
Understood.
And I don't want to take none of that because that's family. You know what I'm saying? So
you right about that.
Hottest in the city.
Okay, well, hottest. Well, let me say this. I have artists that's from the city.
Yeah.
I have three different artists that I work with, and I'm not going to exclude them from this. So to be honest with you, it's only 2 slots left out of.
Whoa! Spit the 2 slots then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, hot.
Yeah. I got the clubs rocking. They got the digital.
The first person that come to mind would be 6ix9ine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. All right.
And out of that last slot, I'll keep it real with you. It'd be a toss up between Cardi and A Boogie.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
And why I say a toss up, sometimes, when you leave the town a little bit, it kind of, I think in Cardi's lane, I think that we could put her in different pools and as a more national, as opposed to A Boogie. But I think A Boogie, has a big stamp here in New York City.
He got a lot of love here.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have to agree with that.
Rel Renee, look, you ain't got nothing to say.
I'm chilling. I'm listening.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Would you disagree with me?
Whoa, she's just listening.
Normally she has questions.
Oh my God!
Yeah, would you disagree with me? You can be honest. You keep it real.
Yeah.
Are you not talking because there's 3 guys on the show now?
Listen, y'all know y'all like to jump on my back a lot. So I'm just trying to tread lightly with the guys tonight. But I mean, when we say hot, that's relative to what the people think is hot, and that's not necessarily what I think is hot.
I agree, yes.
So I would have to agree with you in that aspect. But if we were to say my top 5 hottest, that wouldn't be it. But
wait. Is it her show now? It's her top 5? No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
What's your top 5?
Who's your top 5
then?
I don't want to get into that.
No, you cannot.
Come on.
You wouldn't put 6ix9ine or A Boogie in it?
I wouldn't put 6ix9ine niggas. I'm not really a...
6ix9ine's not the hot one.
I said amongst the city, or are we talking about for me? I don't like 6ix9ine.
No, we asked her. Wait, hold on, Bushmaster.
Okay, let's go.
Hold on, Bushmaster. Self said the Gwinin God's the guest, and he said who is her top 5. Okay. Correct?
I did say that.
All right.
That's fact.
Who is your top 5?
But I'm also saying, how could you not put 6ix9ine? Or who would you put 5 other people
ahead of 6ix9ine?
Ahead of 6ix9ine in your top 5?
Hottest in the city.
What other 5 people?
Yo, just go ahead.
What you just said. That's confusing to me.
Yo, she might say
who's a headliner, Rel
No,
Renee? Who's a headliner, Rel Renee?
I'm not doing this.
You gotta do this.
About this. I'm not doing
Nah,
this.
you gotta do this.
It's just weird to me. Like, how could you put 5 more people hotter in the city?
I agree with the vibe with 6ix9ine. I agree the vibe that he gives the city and all of that it embodies. But me personally, I don't have 6ix9ine songs.
Neither do I.
If I go to a club and they play
6ix9ine,
If you're 5
better than 6ix9ine?
Yes.
It's the 5th time I'm asking for the 5 other 5 of artists in the city where it has 5 boroughs.
Yo, this is hilarious.
I like A Boogie.
Okay.
That's one.
Finally, we got one, y'all.
I like Dream Doll.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with Dream.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who else?
Pull up. Yeah.
Come on.
Yo, you just was bumping the pull up when we was coming down here.
Yo, niggas love to
you was just bumping the pull up when we was coming here, okay?
I don't want to talk about this no more. Go ahead.
Shout out to Dream Doll, although she ain't make it.
I don't want to talk about it no more because I'm going to get into
Yo, man, she mad whack today
I'm
now.
mad whack today.
She acting funny because the Gwinin Doll here.
Your opinion is your opinion.
It's true.
You won't get in trouble for your opinion on this show. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because Creep
Other
Squad
shows, you get in
King
trouble
is
for
in
your
here.
opinion.
The Creep Squad God is here. The Gwinin
Creep
God is
Squad
here.
King is here, and you fronting now?
I'm not fronting. All right, so we're going to say Cardi.
That's all right.
That's 4 you said now, right?
No,
She
Cardi,
said
A
2. She
Boogie.
said Cardi,
That's
A
right,
Boogie.
Dream.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I'm
3.
sorry.
I guess I have to put Tekashi in it because everybody said he the king of New York.
You would have to put him in there. He got 7 or 8 number one singles.
No, I don't know. I don't listen to 6ix9ine.
You listen to them, you just didn't care.
Well, you told me you play all this music that my old ass don't know. Okay.
I like a lot of underground music
and
that
I
Rainy
said,
don't like.
all right, so name
Like
underground.
You like Badass,
dude.
Joey Badass?
That's
You
not
like the
underground.
G4 boys?
Like, or something like that?
You like the G4 boys?
I'm not talking about G4 boys with you.
Or Flatbush Zombies, you like them?
No, that's too left for me.
Oh,
That's too
well,
left
I
for me.
would-
So
you
she
mean
don't
by
like
underground?
nobody,
I'm
so
confused.
I really
so
don't like a lot of people.
so she
That's
don't
what
like
I'm saying. I
nobody.
really
She
don't.
got a top 3.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
have a strong
All right,
top
well, let's
5.
move on. She
Thank
ain't got
you.
no top
Thank
nothing.
you. 'Cause as soon as I start saying people, Randy going to
You start flipping like you had something to say.
You like, yeah, not them niggas. No, I got my own top 5.
No, I wouldn't like that top
No, I
5, so
said
let me
that-
give you my top 5, and
I
she
said
don't
that
have a
was-
top 5.
No, I said that I don't know if I would put him in my personal top 5. That's what I said.
But you
Because
don't
are we
have a
talking about-
personal top 5.
Yeah, you
Right,
didn't
but
have
I
5.
have 3, but I wouldn't put him in my 3.
My bad.
Yo, so this is
no
bag.
Bag fuel.
Yes, I love this. Yo, we usually ask the guests, you know,
Yo,
ways.
just don't gotta butter me up. Ask the guest.
No,
Yo,
no,
like,
no.
Yo,
Listen,
You
listen.
know what people? Yo, listen. You know I
All
do
right.
interviews
Oh,
too, so
shit.
that's what you try to finesse the day. Yo, so listen, normally what we do, yo, we got a fan question.
A fan question.
Yeah, like, come on, keep it G real, guys.
Yo, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you that made you lose a bag? That you was like, shit, I either missed the flight, I didn't wake up on time. Something you like, yo, I'll never do this again.
The craziest thing I ever did that made me miss a bag, I didn't present paperwork to a person.
Who's this person, Self? Come on now.
No, just period. I didn't like just a couple artists that I've had workings with. There's not just one particular, like a handful. When I first was DJing and different things like that, I never thought that DJing or me being in music business can be a business.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you a question about that.
Yeah, so I never treated it as a business, and my first love was always DJing. So I always thought I just want to be the biggest DJ. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't pay attention to the surroundings of the things I was doing. So I didn't know that, you know, by me wearing a specific shirt, that's great. By me wearing specific headphones is great. Working with a different artist, you know, that can generate money. All I wanted to be was, yo, Self is the hottest DJ, period.
In New York.
Yeah, so I think that was the thing that made me miss a biggest bag, because I could have had
Pieces of
a lot of things, clothing, headphones, electronics, all different things like that. I probably could have had on my own radio station. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I got a question for you though, Self. Me and you go way back, long time. Right?
Yeah, let's put that disclaimer too. I knew I was about to call him his name. I don't know if I can say his name, but I've known him for many moons.
Yeah.
About 2 decades now.
Yeah,
right? About 2 decades. And, my main question to you was this, because when you first started to put out records, I even came to you and was like, yo, I might have a producer for you, blah, blah, right? But I was even looking for you to start signing people back then, and you was like, I don't want to sign nobody when you had the OK record with Dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, even before that, let me say, like I'm just expressing it again. My whole attitude was I just wanted to be the best DJ.
Yeah.
You know, and then he just reminded me. Then at the time, you know, even with artists that I had, I wasn't thinking about signing artists. I was just thinking about having them rap on songs for me.
Yeah.
I didn't care about, you know, having them signing. Plenty of artists said, yo, let me sign to you. And I always said, nah, because I just needed your verse. I didn't want your
You didn't
your
want to be
John
bothered,
Hancock.
you were saying.
Yeah, just pause.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just wanted your verse. That was it.
Yeah.
Can you give me a verse? I'm good, you know. I also dibbled and dabbled in rapping at a point in time, and I think that's what detoured me from even being in the music business. Yeah, I had a group called the Teabag Boys.
Yo, Clue rap
Hold on, the
too. Did you know that
Teabag
Clue
Boys?
used to rap
Yeah,
too?
Yo, your creep squad for real.
They all was
The
rappers first.
Teabag Boys.
Yeah, I had a group called the Teabag Boys.
Yeah, I remember the Teabag Boys.
And we had a record deal. We actually had a record deal, and our first single was called Teabag. So what happened?
Yo, how did you get
know
the
about
label to
Teabag?
clear that?
No,
Yo, he had it was pumping a little bit.
We had a big
they were
record
pumping
in New
a
York
little
City.
bit.
It was called
Yes,
Teabag.
yes.
It was at a point in time like one of the biggest records in the club in New York, and that was around the time when Ivan, whatever, I forgot his name.
But you wasn't on radio back then.
No, I wasn't. It was the white
Imus,
radio.
Don Imus.
Don Imus, yeah.
He had said something about
the Rutgers.
Yeah, he said he called the girls nappy-headed girls, and at the time, all radio banned anything derogatory toward women, and teabag fell in that category because we was talking about teabagging girls.
He ruined it.
So Don Imus is the reason why you're on Power 105 spinning records as opposed to
I didn't want to be a rapper.
As opposed to being a rapper.
But we did have. Let me say this: we did have one. We had a gold single, but we wound up selling the whole song and took the Teabag Boys vocals off of it. But to me, the whole song was just us. We just took our vocals off, and the song was "Give Me $20." That was our
No Wifing in the Club.
I got it.
No Wifing in the Club.
But what made you change your mind? See, you still telling us that you wanted to just get the verses and you wanted to just put the songs out, blah, blah, blah. But my question to you is finally going to be, what made you turn the corner? Because when I first spoke to you, you was dead set, like, I don't want to deal with that, Rand. The dude didn't have no manager. Clue was calling me like, yo, Randy, come and manage this dude with the Yale K record, and he didn't want to manage a blah, blah, blah. And then next thing I know, you was like, yo, I got Lou Got Cash, I got Dream Dog, I'm doing Mariah Lynn. I was like, yo, where the hell did this come from?
It changed from doing reality TV. I started doing Love and Hip Hop, and a lot of opportunities were coming my way and coming the way of my friends. My peers, cast members, and different things like that. And I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to and I got older. So, it's like, all right, I can't be in front of the camera anymore like I used to be when, there's a 19 or 18-year-old that has more youth and energy and less responsibilities to do different things. So it was easier for me to, try to go behind the camera as in front of it.
That's tricky because, most people, they love being on camera. They won't let that addiction go away, no matter what. What happened?
It's true.
Oh.
Yeah, well, and I also see, like, some of my peers that I grew up with, like, they are big wigs in the music business and different things like that. Like, another bag that I can remember went away from me, Jay-Z. Jay-Z started Rockefeller Records. And it was a point in time where Jay-Z lived maybe 2 blocks away from me. He lived in a building, the address was 560 State Street. He said it in his rap song. That's in like Fort Greene, Park Slope-ish of Brooklyn. And Spike Lee used to throw a block party every year in my neighborhood, and every big celebrity, black-wise, used to come out. They used to call our neighborhood the Brooklyn Boheme. And I used to have, I grew up where Michael Jordan lived on my block, Chris Rock, Run from Run DMC, a couple other actors and different things like that. Even Spike Lee, they all lived on my block. And Spike Lee used to throw a big.
Wesley lived on that block too for a little while.
Huh?
Right? Yo, Wesley Snipes lived on that block too.
I don't remember Wesley Snipes. I'm not going. I won't hold you
because he moved over there. I believe he moved over there.
Michael Jamal Warner also. So he used to throw block parties. So one day I saw Jay-Z just chilling with a whole bunch of guys. He had his Lexus, like he rapped about everything was true. And I was a young DJ, and I said, yo, Hov. His name wasn't Hov, his name was Jay-Z at the time. It wasn't even Jigga. So I asked him, I said, would you come upstairs and rap for me? And he said, okay. And at this time, we were doing like mixtapes and stuff, and MCs would rap over instrumentals at the beginning of a person's mixtape. So he came upstairs by himself. He had like six, 7 guys with him, and he came upstairs by himself. And he spit a rap in my bunk bed house. I had the bunk beds or whatever in my room. He spit the rap, and I forgot to record it.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Dropping the fucking ball. God damn!
He forgot to record it, but I want to salute Hov because he gave me his beeper number. I beeped him. He came back and did it over again. Came back and did it. Right? He came back by himself and did it. He did the freestyle.
Yeah.
He did it over again. He came back and did it. And I still got it to this day. It's on YouTube also. It's like the Jay-Z DJ Self Freestyle.
That he only did that because you from BK.
But wait, you got one take Hov to do 2 takes.
Well, actually, he did a different take another day, and I never heard the rap still to this day nowhere else.
So
But where I dropped the ball was, so now he's starting Rockefeller Records, and at the time I used to be real cool with a guy named Pain in the Ass.
Yeah.
And Bobby Dash, Jay-Z, they asked me, Pain in the Ass, and a couple other guys, because we used to run around and do street team. It was another guy, Chris Green, Puerto Rico Rob. It was a whole bunch of us.
Chris was with y'all back then?
Yes, we all, we used to just walk around, put stickers up on the wall, all different things. And he said, Self, I want you to come to John Street, because I'm going to be on the cover of Rap Pages, and I need you to hold up a sign. It was a Rap Page sign that had Jay-Z on the cover. He wanted me to, I forgot what they call those. What they call those? Snipes or a picket sign, like a picket sign. And I felt I was too good. Like, I'm DJ Self, man. I ain't picking up no picket sign. You understand? Like, I got Jay-Z. I got you rapping on my mixtape.
I don't need to do that.
Well, I'm going to pick up a picket sign, you know? So, excuse me.
Yeah.
All those people that they called at the time, it was Lenny Santiago, which is Lenny S. All, it was a handful of other people. All those people now are, big wigs in the music industry, and they were big wigs with Rockefeller, and Jay-Z wasn't who Jay-Z is today. So I feel like I dropped the ball, because I probably could have been in that conglomerate of the whole
Nation.
Rockefeller.
Damn.
Well, Rockefeller period.
Yeah,
I mean, it worked out for you. Speaking of Rockefeller, because Dame Dash and Leor been going at it. What's your thoughts on Leor Cohen? Do you think
I never had business with Leor Cohen, so I can't speak on something I have no knowledge of. I guess like Dame Dash or people that was signed to Def Jam could have a better assessment of that, because this is my first time being involved in label politics. I just was Self, I got a new record, play it. That was my business with artists. Now I got to worry about marketing. I got to worry about when this album will artwork on a project. When do we get paid? When do I got to pay this person? When I got to pay that person? So there's a lot of things that I guess people could be mad at or upset at, and I think just communication is the key. And a lot of times people just don't communicate with each other.
I don't know what the beef is about, because I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But I was definitely around when that stuff was going on.
They were calling him a
Dame,
culture vulture.
Listen, Dame was on his case back then. You know what I'm saying? Way more than just what y'all saw on the movies.
Okay.
And the rest of that stuff. Dame was really living that life. That's why when kind of Dame and Hove broke up, people that was kind of on the inside but on the outside of their whole type of situation was like, how is Jay gonna keep running? Because Dame really did a lot of the business. And he pulled on people. They had a lot of marketing ideas, like you know this stuff. Like you market yourself, right? You market yourself. You get some money behind you, and then a label comes and follows behind you, right? I feel like, and I didn't talk to Dame about this face to face, but being around and just learning, I feel like that they had such a track record that was going at that time that he probably wanted them to jump in on stuff that they were just thinking about to push it forward.
Got you.
But they still had them spending their own money to push things forward. And then once it blew up, we're going to put the bag behind y'all. That's what he didn't like about the situation. If we're keeping the lights on, which the rules.
Yes.
If we're keeping the lights on, I don't have to keep putting my money behind this shit. I'm keeping the lights on. But I need you to follow suit with what I'm doing with keeping the lights on. And then Irv Gotti brought the situation in. It wasn't Leon and Irv Gotti brought all of that stuff in, from Jay-Z to DMX to Ja Rule to Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? So it was a funny type of situation, whereas the people with the bag were trying to make different type of decisions and act like that they were making the decisions that I feel like that Rockefeller was doing for themselves.
Gotcha.
And it's just continuing right now because Dame's not on the inside anymore. You know what I'm saying? Hove is out here. Leor still making money. You know what I'm saying? And Dame's the one dude that's not in the music business per se.
Gotcha.
And should be, in my mind. You know what
that
I'm
is
saying?
interesting. He's really like outside of the music business almost completely. From the public perception, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes when you really think about it and shit like that. Let me ask you this though. I know we just touched on it earlier. Why didn't you never have any paperwork with Cardi? Like, what did you really feel like, yo?
Well, I mean, if you paid attention to what I said earlier.
Yeah, I know, but like, I know
he fucked up. Yeah,
but
I think the misconception, I think with society today, a lot of times people, forget. Listen, what I'm saying to you, we forget about things that happened last year. So when I say that, meaning, even somebody asking me that question, like, or people say, "Oh, you mad because you didn't sign her? You should have signed her, whatever." And I would look at people like, that was 2014.
I'm not mad. At
all.
all.
Not even that. That was 2014. If you really pay attention, if you want to look, like, I started my record company in 2016. So I had a whole 2 years. I didn't have a record company. I didn't have anything to sign her to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because that was never in my plans to own a record company. So it's like, I can't sign somebody to something that I don't have. Number one. Two, that wasn't in my mindset. My mindset never was. I was a DJ, and my mindset, artists come to me, yo, let me help break your record. Period. Thank you, and that was it.
Yeah.
Until me being on reality TV is like, hey, hold on, you could find an artist and make some money like Clue did with Fabulous, what Khaled did with Ace Hood, what Drama did with Uzi, different things like that. Like, a lot of artists, they wind up. I mean, a lot of DJs. I'm sorry, they found that niche. And it just took me some time to find that niche. So I didn't have a record label or anything at the time to sign. Like, this was like me and Cardi decided to do Love and Hip Hop and different things in 2014. And that's 4 years ago now. And I think
pretty much,
yeah. So I think what
it seems
the
like
big
yesterday
break.
you did that.
Yeah,
It
the
does
big
seem
break
like it was
was
just last year.
was last year.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that we still 3 years,
And
behind.
And she
yeah.
put in a lot of work between the time when y'all had those conversations and when she actually had her
Yes,
first hit.
absolutely.
She definitely refined her skill, because I have been listening to Cardi from Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 1, and I was like,
Well, just imagine me. I was there from take one.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right. So I'm sure she's improved leaps and
I was there
bounds.
from
Yeah,
take one.
yeah,
Like, and now
definitely.
you can't say, the first record, to be honest with you, was we just used clips from her Instagram. That was the first record. It was just clips from Let's Get This Shmoney. I think that was the name of the song or something. I can't remember.
I remember,
But it was just clips from her Instagram. That was, we just put a whole bunch of clips from her Instagram like that. So like I said, me being in the studio, I wasn't thinking about signing her. I'm just like, let's just make it happen. I want to pop a record.
Right.
And that's it.
Now
In
listening
reference
to
to the
BAGFUEL.
reality TV and the Love and Hip Hop thing, right? So we had this conversation last episode, actually, and we decided we were going to figure out if we could pick another city to add to the Love and Hip Hop roster. We decided what city we would pick as a cast. So we want to know, if you had the opportunity to pick another city to add to the Love and Hip Hop roster, what city would you pick? And who would your cast be?
I don't know everybody from there, but they tried 2 cities and for some reason it didn't work. They tried Houston, and they filmed. They went to production and everything. They filmed a couple episodes, and then somebody started shooting and different things. So
They must ain't pay Jay Prince.
They
They didn't give yo show. So they didn't give Jay Prince the bag. You gotta
robbed the
give-
production.
yo,
Hold on,
no,
hold on,
You
wait,
yo.
would not drop the
Wait,
bag off
wait,
the
That's
wait.
real.
yo.
I'm telling you,
Wait,
Bushmaster,
wait.
you got if you
I
going to Houston,
understand.
you
Yeah,
gotta
robbed
give
the
Jay
production
Prince the
company.
bag.
So they're like, yo, all right, that's it. We can't do this.
Drake
no more.
tells you gotta
right.
look for who you gonna pay, and then you move on from that point.
Wow.
They didn't pay the man, bro.
So Love and Hip Hop production crew got robbed out in Houston.
All
Understand?
right, so that's the first
I
city.
heard
was a
about
dub.
that too.
And
So what
then
was the
they
second
tried
one?
Chicago.
That's another.
We said Chicago.
She said Chicago.
I don't know what happened with Chicago, but
Too rowdy.
Actually, nothing happened.
What
I
about
guess.
New Orleans? What you think about that?
That was what we decided on. New Orleans.
We said New Orleans.
That was after I fought for New Orleans.
See, the thing about Nolans, the people, to me, and I won't disrespect anybody, but the people who are, I want to say attractive, and when I say attractive, meaning that people would
Star power.
start watching, that attract people and viewers. They actually don't live in New Orleans anymore. So the ones that are hot in New Orleans, I don't think that they would create any buzz. That's just my opinion. I apologize if I offended anyone, But I don't think that would be the great city. But Houston, Chicago,
those are tough. If it didn't work out there,
yeah,
where they gonna go to North Carolina, and North Carolina's
Miami
not sexy.
It was they did Miami and Houston at the same time. Then it just fell. Into
it got to be Miami.
Well, Miami they. I
mean, because you don't got to pay Jay Prince if you go to Miami. I mean, it's simple. We going to Miami. You heard?
So speaking about being the best DJ in New York, and that was your ultimate goal. What was the most memorable night that you could remember? Like a club that turned upside down, like legendary New York shit. We not talking about no new shit. We talking about legendary New York club. What was your one most memorable night where you could remember that shit got turned upside down because of DJ Self?
I had several,
of course,
but one night I would say is when Jim Jones dropped Ballin'. Oh. And I used to do
that was Euphoria
a club
back then.
Temple, or I don't know if it was called TNY at the time, or Temple. And
on 6th Avenue?
No, Temple was on
in the 50s.
And maybe 52nd Street between either 8th and Broadway or 7th and Broadway.
Okay.
Something like that. It's across the street from Roseland. Mm-hmm. Right? Roseland Ballroom. So Jim Jones dropped Ballin', and we played it. Like if the club is from 10 to 4, like we played it from 12 to 3:30.
That's how that record was, though.
And it was like
it was a trance record.
It was like you played it for the first time every time.
Single time.
The hour after hour after hour.
That's
after,
a fact.
After time after time after time. So I would definitely say that. The only other record. There's 2 other records that in my lifetime that I could, no, maybe 3 that I could remember had that sort of a effect. Was In the Club.
I knew he was gonna say
50,
that. Yeah.
Lean Back, Fat Joe, and Benjamin.
Benjamin's is the first one that ever had people in a trance like that. To
but still, Ballin', I still put.
You think Ballin's over Benjamin's?
Well, Benjamin's. To me, Benjamin's was just, it put you in a groove, though.
Lean Back was a tough record, too.
Ballin' had the strength of YouTube behind it, because that was around the same time that YouTube dropped. That was one of the first euphoric songs like that had the benefit of YouTube and being able to share it that way.
Okay, I got you.
So that's why I feel like Ballin' has a little bit more of
was
advantage.
just a different.
And I was just about to say that was the first
that
to
was
me
vibe
season. Record. Like that wave that was a vibe club record because it wasn't fast. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nothing, but when that record came on, you was rolling up. Mm-hmm. You want the bottles coming out right now. You want to do, and every time the Self bring that shit back, we popping another fucking bottle. Yeah, exactly. It was lit.
Speaking of which, how do you feel about the whole ghostwriter thing in hip hop? Do you feel like can you truly be a rapper and have a ghostwriter? Do you give a fuck?
I mean, you know what? The funny thing is, to me, it's to each his own. So when I say that, meaning I don't think that this generation, should put a rule on you can't have a ghostwriter, you can't. Reason being is, for my knowledge, in the beginning of hip hop, one of the biggest hip hop records was a ghostwriter, and that was what Rappers Delight. Yes. And the guy name was something else, and he just he said his name was like let's say if Drake wrote around for me, and I go my name is Drake, it's like the dude said. The
other dude's name.
Yeah, he said the guy who wrote his rhyme name.
He said the ghostwriter's name in the verse.
He said the ghost, and he
said
D-R-A,
he says me, A-R, the D and the double G.
Yeah, he was like, yo, he was like, yo, me and the 3 other MCs, and it was 2 of them. It's like, yo, my God, you know what I'm saying? But
the record worked.
Even moving forward, I've heard, a lot of times that Kane used to pen Biz Markie's rhymes.
He definitely penned all his rhymes.
I've heard Redman pen a couple people, some other people's rhymes.
Jay-Z wrote for Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's a rapper.
Listen, I think.
Or Biggie wrote for Lil' Kim. And that's a fact because we
Nas
heard the
and
reference
Hov
track.
wrote for Foxy.
Yeah, so
that's a fact.
Yeah, so it's like, who's to say, okay, now you can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
And big records are always collaborative records. So to be out, to me, you have to set your vibe. Corey Rooney is one of the greatest people to do it, and he taught me, just because you sing doesn't make you a star.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things that make you a star. It's your look, it's your vibe, it's the way you dress, the way you carry yourself.
Your aura.
You know what I'm saying? All of those things go into making you who you are. If it was just about somebody singing or writing, every writer or every singer would be a hot person out here.
It's about the perfect combination.
Sometimes it might take Drake to get a verse from Self and put his swag on Self verse.
Turn it around.
There you go.
But see, the problem with that is that people who are behind the scenes understand that. There's a general consensus that we understand that happens from time to time. But the consumer is like traumatized.
I don't think the consumer cares.
We don't work. We can't worry about the consumer.
When it comes to the forefront,
I don't think the consumer cares. I
Right.
think the consumer cares about the
They act like they
finished
fake care.
product. No, I think they just care about the fake product. I think there's certain move shakers, you know, that want to make people care about it. You know, even bloggers and different things. I don't think people generally care. Like, you know, people say, oh, this person got a ghostwriter. Even like the big thing was with Drake. You know, Drake had this ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Quentin Miller.
Nobody cared. People still was. It
doesn't matter.
Did he write back to back? Did he write back to back? Cool. He don't.
Because
He
Quentin Miller
don't.
didn't have the source, so he couldn't make it the song like how Drake
My
make
thing
the
is,
song.
when you got that good relationship going with your ghostwriter, keep it going. Because we see what happened to Lauryn
Oh
Hill.
God.
She was finished. She's been finished for 20 years because she disrespected her ghostwriters. Let's just keep it all the way
That's
real.
true. Veda Noble. Shout out to Veda Noble.
Vader, no, there you go. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out.
She's a perfect example of. And I've always said this. Anytime a female rapper disappears, it's because she disrespected her ghostwriter.
This is going to be controversial.
I want it to be controversial.
Right here.
Yeah.
Heineken is
Respect your
saying that
ghostwriters. Lauryn Hill.
and every other female rapper that ever dropped off the face of the earth is because they fell out with their ghostwriter. So
If they didn't get pregnant,
I might have to say that that's a fact.
I agree with him on the phone earlier when we talked about
so
it.
you've been in this industry
really
a lot of
think
years.
about
Am I bugging or not?
Well, no, I mean, I also, you know, you can find a new one.
But you know the chemistry.
The whole
I don't know.
recipe changes after that.
Well, I don't know what female rappers have ghostwriters. So that part I don't know. And then I think now the new millennium, if they do, I think that some of them are smart enough to get more than just one, like to rely on one person.
Yeah, you can recycle them, but you know.
Who writes Cardi B's rhyme?
I don't know. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. The consumer doesn't
You were
care.
saying that exactly. Exactly. That was the joke for us, though, because the consumer doesn't
The
care.
consumer doesn't care.
As a DJ on a powerful station, no pun intended, aside from getting a record played on the radio, what do you think is the best way for new artists to really break out, to get their music heard?
Groundwork, just hitting every event, and I don't want to just, you know, people think, oh, I'm gonna just go to the strip club. When I say every event, like, you know, they you know, in New York City, and I'm pretty sure they got it across the country, but in New York, you know, we have basketball tournaments.
Yes.
Go to the basketball tournaments, try to perform in the middle, you know, during halftime.
You see what that did for Safari, bro.
Well, I mean, I think with Safari, with the Dykeman thing, it just was people who didn't really care for him. So I don't think that was the issue. It's just
I feel like he had a disadvantage from the beginning, kind of.
Yeah, you know, it was people there
You know,
that didn't
Brooklyn,
care.
If
about
I
it.
was him, I wouldn't even have gone out there to even perform for them dudes. I keep it real. If they're gonna be my fans, y'all gonna be my fans virally.
All right.
I don't need to go.
Well, no,
because
I mean, I think as an artist, you need everything, because there's some tough crowds and there's some I don't think you should be scared of any crowd.
I wouldn't perform there. I'm not talking about being scared. I'm talking about being knowledgeable and strategic. I wouldn't go out there and perform if I'm Safari to that crowd. I might go and host and make myself available.
Okay.
Talk about my single, give
Play your
out
song
some
in the
T-shirts,
background.
talk to the DJ, let me talk on the mic a little bit, but I don't need to really perform
Well, no,
for
I
them.
think
In my mind.
I don't think that was. I think people think that's a bad idea now because of what happened. You know, as any artist, I feel like if it's a crowd of people, perform your work. You know, if you're in front of a body of people, put it. You know, go ahead. I don't care if it's people in cowboy hats that love country music. You know, perform your act. It may work, it may not work. I'll say the positive is
BAGFUEL.
well, no, the positive to me is, you know, now the record was dying a little bit. Then now everybody like, oh, he was performing 100 on 100 on, and now it gave him a new light. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that it was bad. You know, okay, we laugh. He got booed, ha, ha, ha. He even laughed, you know. But now, you know, it got that record a new light. And also people who don't normally mess with him or probably didn't even know who he was, which, you know, Dykeman is a heavy Latin community. They know who he is now. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's still a win.
It's still publicity.
Well, publicity is good publicity.
I think it's still a win, you know, because people say, oh, you know, they may say I don't like it, but they still know what it is. And then sometimes you be like, you know what? I always say I ain't like it, but I never tried it. You know, because a lot of times somebody will say, oh, you know, fast food ain't good for you. But, you know, you wind up saying, yo,
I fuck with Chick-fil-A.
That commercial is Chick-fil-A.
I fuck with Chick-fil-A, though.
You said going to the basketball games, groundwork. What else can, you know, artists do to really get their buzz rocking?
I just think I'm still going to say groundwork, heavy promotion as far as
invest in yourself.
Whoa.
I mean, that too, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, a lot of people don't, you know, they don't see the value of investing in yourself or they don't know. So that's what I say. It's easy to hire somebody that can teach you how to do it. I just think that people just don't know how to invest in themselves. And I said, like, the key thing, they may look at social media and say, oh, all I got to do is go to a strip club and throw a whole bunch of money. To me, I think that's a waste. Because, and me as a DJ, it may sound biased, but to me, you know, instead of throwing $2,000-$3,000 on the dancer, I would rather say, yo, you know what? Let me go to not even YouTube. Go to the DJ that's in the strip club. Hey, here goes $400. Make sure every night you in here you play this song.
That makes sense.
Because that song only gonna get played that one time when you throw that money, and that's it. It's cheaper to give that DJ that money because that song is gonna play every night.
But they don't
in that strip club.
But I don't mean to cut you off, but when we trying to explain this to people. Because you're a DJ, and I've been in the business for a long time. When you're trying to explain to people, you take that same money that you give into the strippers, and you get your flyers, or you give a DJ $300, and they be like, "Why would I pay the DJ?" I said, "So you think that this DJ in this club is going to put you in position to make money, and he's not going to get nothing for it?"
Sense.
That makes no sense at all.
It's a business. So what I'll be trying to explain to people still is that the word business is way bigger than the word music. And if you keep paying attention, when people are streaming records and all that, and they say, "Oh, the music business made $43 billion, but the rappers and the singers made $12 billion," that's because you're not knowing what's really, really going on. And then when we're trying to tell them what's really going on, they think it's a scam. So we got to sit there and watch them fail. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've told that same thing that you told me to people from the hood that we're both from in Queens, Southside Jamaica. Shout out Rossdale Village. You know what I'm saying? And they come to me and they like, "Yo, Rand, you've been with Clue all this time. You know Self. You rock with Puffy, you know this. How can I do something?" I say, "Yo, instead of getting the belt that you got on, the Gucci belt or whatever," I said, "Don't get that belt. Go pay a blogger. Go pay a club DJ. Go buy yourself some flyers. Go get some studio time. Put out your own mixtape. Put out your own SoundCloud. Put that stuff up there. Tell them where you can get your stuff at.
That's not gonna get them bitches.
That's the beginning.
That's the problem.
You know what that requires? That requires footwork.
You're not wrong what you're saying.
No, I'm saying. But what they don't realize is that is gonna get
in the long run. They want the instant gratification.
No, you're gonna get bitches along the way as well that appreciate your grind.
Microwave era, man.
But if I throw this $1,000 up tonight, this bitch right here is gonna give me the pussy tonight. That's all they can see.
And it's gonna look good on Instagram.
And then I'm begging DJ Self to say, "Yo, can you play my record in the club?" And the Self gotta be like, "Yo, talk to my man," and then it never happened.
How has Instagram, like, helped your career, changed your career, influence?
I mean, it is people is a good and bad thing. You know, the bad thing, you know, people so much heavily influenced by it, so people are in a trance. And they do things just for Instagram. You know, it's also good because it gives you a chance to reach people that you normally couldn't reach. So I think that's a great thing also. You know, sometimes, you know, we live in a place, even me, I'll use me as an example. a big issue with me was I had to be on this radio 6 nights a week. And I only got a certain amount of vacation days. So a lot of times, people are like, yo, Self, why you don't go here? Why you don't go there? Why you don't be in Miami? Why you don't be here? And like, yo, I gotta be at the radio station. I only got Sundays off, So now Instagram allows me to be in these different cities without having to actually go. And that was one of the big reasons why I decided to do reality TV. Because I'm at this radio station every day. So now if I could record in my own city and be in homes across the world, that's a win for me. Mm-hmm. So now, I go to whatever city and they say, oh, that's DJ Self. Granted, they may say that's DJ Self from Love and Hip Hop, but the message is still there,
Yeah.
That's how you get to the bag.
So I agree with you in the aspect of Instagram, but we were talking about this earlier about how Instagram kind of made a lot of celebrities that I thought was dope, made me not like them. Because it sheds kind of a corny side on people because sometimes they overexpose. 6ix9ine wasn't even around before Instagram came.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I don't know. I love 6ix9ine.
Because 6ix9ine wasn't in your top 5, so I agree with why he's asking.
In my top 5, okay.
Well, I mean, it could hurt and help you.
I mean, you like that Connie girl? Why you ain't named her? Because Self don't know her.
No, I just didn't know if that.
Give her some publicity.
Connie Diamond. Shout out Connie Diamond. Connie's killing it right now. She was up here a couple of weeks ago doing an interview with Nyla. She's a female rapper.
Playing her shit in the car right after pull up. You heard? Right after pull up.
Up and coming listen.
Hashtag me too.
Kaya Baby.
Hashtag me too over here. If it's a female rapper, she like him. Please believe that.
Up and coming female rappers, you think is really gonna help the city? In your opinion, you just named Kaya Baby.
I'll say this also. To backtrack, and I know this going back, but I still will say this because somebody may say, oh, this may remind themselves of something. Years ago, a friend of mine wanted to start a record company, and it still wasn't in my taste, but I decided to do it because my friend he was a good friend of mine. I said, all right, I'm gonna just do it for you. He really ran the company. I just was kind of like the face. So that answers your question why I didn't want to do a record company at the time because I did. It was called Selfish Music Group.
I know about that.
I had Kaya Baby signed to me actually back then. So when I mentioned Kaya Baby, somebody even said, "Oh, wasn't she signed to you?" She would say it was her and a guy named Ox signed to me.
I remember Ox.
Yeah, it was Ox and Antoine Bailey. I had those three, and it was more of, I was just more, just the face of it because it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. So it just, and I knew I didn't want to do it, so that's why, but Kaya Baby I always thought was dope, still think it's dope.
Why don't she do a record with Dream Dog? Or do a record with Lou Got Cash, a Queens record.
Well, let me say this. A person told me this, and sometimes when somebody say things, it sticks in my head. And this was just a guy I know, an older guy also. He told me never tell my artists, or give them my ideas or my feelings because then they'll be me and not themselves as an artist. So let the artist be an artist. So I can't force my relationship or my friends on someone else.
But I got one thing to say about that, and this is from a conversation that we all had, right? And I'm just dealing with being classic and being dope. They need you, first of all, because you got your hand on the button.
When I say, I don't know if you paid attention to what I said. I said tell them what
to do.
No,
I know that. No. I totally feel where you're coming from with a lot of things. But in order for them to get to the next level, and I'm not saying, and this is my opinion, and I'm not saying that you got to do this. In order for them to get to the next level, they need the man who has the finger on the button, and that's you. And I'm saying from my experience just dealing with Clue, Fab is great and everything, but he needed Minotti bad. Minotti forced Fabulous down people's throat. Even when Mace was out, they was like, he sounded like Mace. He was Fabulous Sport and all that. Clue still kept his button on him, and he told him different things that he should do. He implemented what he had to do with them, right? And all the people that we talk about with the records that put out dope records, there's always a producer that's guiding them behind.
No, I agree.
That's making them do things that they don't necessarily want to do. So I understand that you're...
Well, I mean, I think in an aspect, because the first time when my friend tried the record label, and now I have more than one artist. So naturally, my mind, if I like the color red, I'm going to tell this artist one wear red, this artist two wear red. So now they're going to look alike, they're going to sound alike, so that's why, it's like let them be individual. Now I can give them advice, yes, or give them my opinion, but telling them what to do or what I would do, let me say that is a little bit different. I also can't force my relationships on other people. If you had a brother and I asked, I said, yo, can your brother help me carry up my suitcases up the steps? That don't necessarily mean your brother gonna want to do it because you may do it. Like, yo, I'm gonna help self.
I'm gonna tell him to do it. And I'm gonna tell him he's a dickhead and an asshole for not doing it.
And
that's a fact because I'm just keeping it really real, and I fuck
really
with you,
real?
self, and I'm, what I'm saying, I'm not gonna pull no punches and all of that. If they're gonna make it to where they gotta go, and this ain't for them, you're gonna be the one that's gonna guide them. So if you think that all three of them need to wear red, and that's going to be their best shot for one of them to get to the finish line, then all them niggas need to wear red.
My goal always would be, for all my artists, not just one. I want all of them to prosper.
Yeah, but if one of them, look at Kendrick. If Kendrick gets there, then SZA could get there, then J-Rock could get there. You feel what I'm saying? Because it creates a gateway. Now, if Lou got Cash or if Dream Dog got a hit record right now, then Dream can bring Lou Got Cash along, and then a Mariah Lynn along. But if it's friction there, the only person that could even solve that or make that go down and explain to them that this is the best way to go is DJ Self. So I feel like, and I could be wrong, I just feel like that if they not supremely doing what DJ Self wants, because I know you, you know what I'm saying? You a cool dude, and I'm not saying this because we on camera. Like I really, 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 really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people that just for you to sit down, to do the show, blah, 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 and all that type of shit. So for me in my business, I would trust you. Because in order for us to get to where we got to go, even with this show, we all trusting each other to do what we got to do. I listen to him. Because I've been in the music business, so when it comes on being on this camera and doing these shows, I pay attention to what he has or what she got to say because she went to college for this and all the rest of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that might be the little fork that might be holding them back from getting to the next level. You might have to take the wheel and be like, all three of y'all got to jump in the back seat and just do what I say. You know what I'm saying? And I know that that'd be tough, but sometimes it takes that.
Let's shift to one of your legendary segments, Topic Time.
How much time do we have?
About 10 minutes, and then we good.
Okay.
Topic Time, man. What is some of your most legendary topics that you didn't think was going to go?
I don't remember, but I remember I was talking to some girl, and I guess she was talking about her boyfriend or something like that, and then it sounded like he busted in or something like that. Like, he busted in, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Da, da, da. In the background, and I was like, yo, who the hell is that? Then he picked up the phone, yo, who the fuck is this? And I was like, yo, it's Domino's. You order pizza? You order no fucking pizza, nigga. He hung up.
Why'd you just say it's Power 105, nigga?
Nah, I didn't want to say it because I
don't want him knowing that that's me.
Yeah, he would have been in your DMs. Don't talk to my bitch, nigga.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this Domino's. Yeah, I said, yo, this Domino's. And just hung up,
Relly and I was talking about reverse domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Like
on men?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, girls out here beating up on niggas, stabbing them, and when the stories come out, everybody just laughs. What's your thoughts on that? Because I've always felt like...
I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't think no one should put their hands on anybody. If you're a female and you feel like you need to put your hands on a guy, I think you should just take a breather and just walk away. And same thing with with males.
Just leave him.
Just walk away.
Why you gotta just leave him so quick?
Because if a nigga make you want to slap him that many times,
every girl make you want to smack him, and we don't leave him. We stick right in there.
I know my character. If a man makes me want to slap him, I don't need to be with him. Because I don't get mad like that.
Oh, boy. Hashtag me too up in here.
Hashtag me also.
Us also. That's for the men. Hashtag us also.
Us also.
No, we watched an interesting video on Instagram where it was like a experiment, a social experiment. And they had a couple walk down the block and the girl was pressing the dude out and nobody bothered her. She was hitting him, punching him. Nobody bothered him. They reversed it. They had him doing the same thing to her. guys was running across the street, jumping on them, pouncing on them, throwing shit at them.
They had to tell him like, yo, this is the task. Yo, chill.
Like, it's a joke. They had him on the ground, pinned up, beating his ass. I'm like, but the same situation happened the other way around, and nobody did anything.
Let me tell you something. I think I don't know if I've ever said this on the show. I had literally a fist fight in the Bronx with a chick in a Domino's Pizza, and they called the cops on me quick. You know, and
I don't know if I would be saying this on camera.
Yeah, I can. Oh, yeah. No.
Keeping it
It's
deep.
over. It's 7 years past. 7 years past.
No.
Statute of limitations.
No.
Statute of limitations is straight.
She attacked me first, and I had to defend myself.
Now this.
That don't
Oh
count,
man,
baby.
It don't count.
You Brooklyn,
You a black man in America.
you Brooklyn dudes is crazy.
Oh my God, that don't count.
The cops actually came, and
I
they
thought
let me
did.
go.
Why were you still there when they got there?
They came really fucking fast.
Oh, in the Bronx?
Like really fucking.
I told
Really
you to go
fucking
to the
fast.
gym and fucking work out, and you could have ran away quicker.
No, I was waiting for my pizza, nigga, and they
That
came.
piece was worth your freedom. Okay.
No, it was trash actually.
Yeah, okay.
And when they came, I just handed them my ID. I gave them my ID number, and because I've already been around cops, so I know how to disarm certain situations. I learned.
Can you teach me?
Yo, don't be hype when they come around
You
you.
lost your footing.
Like if me, no, let me tell you something. If we got into a fist fight and you beat me up, but I'm calm and you're hype, they're gonna arrest you, even though you beat me because you're so hyper. They're looking at it like, oh, he's the aggressor. We'll take him, even though you beat me up, or I beat whoever. It doesn't matter who won.
We
It's
got you.
Who's the calmest?
You've been drinking a little bit. We got you.
No, I've been chilling. So I was like, pow, pow, and they still let me go. They let me take her home.
Nobody jammed
Pizza.
up. Well, that's a
Wait,
legendary.
hold on.
That's
They
a
let you
fictitious
take the
story.
girl home?
Yeah,
She let you take her home?
yeah, because she knew
came
she was
with you?
wrong.
She came with you?
You
I
think
thought
it
you
was-
just got into a fight with a random girl.
No, I know her.
Nah, you ain't even
You
told
didn't
the
say
whole
that was your
story
shorty.
correct.
You didn't say it was domestic.
Oh no! If it was a random, she would have been finished, and I'd have been out of there.
Now
So you
wanna
got into a
combat
fight
bitches
with
in the
your
Bronx.
same old.
This all was a
Man,
alleged
listen.
story.
Yo,
Please, God, I don't want you to jam.
He Mortal Kombat
Yo,
bitches
son,
in
let
the
me
pizza
tell you
shop.
what happened, God.
Yo, I
This nigga
beat a
got
bitch
locked
up in Pizza Hut.
No, the nigga got locked up, God, for some shit he did 8 years ago.
Yeah,
How do you
Nigga
get-
said it on the
it's
podcast.
self-fault. They gonna be like, it's self-fault.
Yeah, man, we about to close this out. Any final words y'all want to say, man?
Keep it Gwinin.
Get to the bag. That's all.
She said it. She said what I was gonna say.
Stole it. All right.
Bag Fuel, baby.
Let's go.
First episode. You know what it is. New season.
It is the 4th episode of BAGFUEL
It's
season
the
1.
new season.